first webinar. We have been running the physical meetings, and we are so happy that you found time to join us today at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. So I want to welcome all the visitors from Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, both staff and students. The other key stakeholders who are with us this morning from various organizations whom we consider as our pillars. We love you so much, and we are so happy that you found time to join us so that we can walk the journey together, this fascinating journey of understanding innovation, intellectual property, and demystifying idea protection and yes, of course, the IP. I'm so happy to have my predecessor, Professor John Muoma, who is my mentor and who has supported us from the time Science Park was begun. We also have Professor Omolo, who's also been a great pillar and a mentor for this organization, Masinde Muliro, and more specifically, the Science Park Innovation and Incubation Center. So I'm just going to walk you, before I welcome the key speaker, I'm going to walk you through understanding who we are. And Vic, you let me know if we'll be able to see my slide so that we get to understand who are we as Masinde Muliro University, the Science Park Innovation and Incubation Center. Thank you so much. So at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, we sit in a very beautiful forest called Kakamega Forest. So anybody who has time can join us. And as you can see, this is our beautiful university. We are in a green, sorry, just a minute. Hello, Fred. Please kindly call Odoyo. Okay. Sorry about that. Dr. Odoyo, if you could kindly call our IP consultants so that we can let him in. Sorry about that. So this is where we are. This is our beautiful university. And as we work together through the fascinating journey of incubating ideas that are actually the seeds of innovation, from research to innovation to commercialization, because it never becomes, as in an idea can never be actualized when it has not been utilized and when it has not been commercialized. So that is what we do at Masinde Muliro University. And let's have a brief history about us. Our university was founded in 2002 as a constituent college of Moi University. So we are the baby of Moi University, and we were later elevated to university status through the Act of Parliament in 2006. We are the seventh public university in the country, and we accommodate over 26,000 students, right from certificates to postgraduate PhD level. So we are a very blessed university, like running over 26,000 students and over 5,000 staff, both administrative and academic. Our motto is to become the university of choice, with a vision that we want to become the premier university in science and technology and innovation. Our core values sit on accountability, collegiality, equity, innovativeness, and professionalism. We are so customer focused.
Yeah, in fact,
and
then we invite you.
Yeah.
You want to, that link you are given.
Odoyo,
Odoyo, you are on. Odoyo, you are on. Kindly.
What's wrong with you?
Okay. Sorry about that. I was running through the philosophical framework of our university, Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, where our mission is to provide excellent university education through research, through science, and through technology and innovation into the so many programs to fit the needs of the ever-evolving needs that affect our society. And one of the needs that we are going to see this morning is that as wherever you are seated, somebody has just lost his life. You remember I will kindly request members who are not muted to mute because it is overcrowding my voice. Kindly let us mute. So we face so many burdens in our society. For many of us who come from Kenya, you remember the tragedy that hit the hillside in the Russia Academy. There's so many children that we lost. Remember this beautiful girl, Rita, who lost her life through a tragic way because of occasioned by technology. So as I'm not saying that technology is evil, but it is through technology and through our the security of our data that we are seated here today so that we are able to protect our most vulnerable, our loved ones like Rita, whom we lost, and many other Kenyans and other children across the globe whom we have lost as a result of the vulnerabilities matters in security. You remember, we face so many challenges in the society to include road traffic accidents. Like I'm telling you that I've just told you that somebody is struggling to breathe at the intensive care unit now as we are running this meeting. A family has just lost their loved one. And so it is through our sitting here today that we want to resolve even such challenges. You remember the Salai Dam tragedy that multiple of people die. And we then therefore, as from the many problems that we witness and the ones that you know, the ones that have pained you in a direct way, or the ones that have pained you even when you watch in the television, the ones that you hear, we want to, as a university, we want to leverage on innovation. We want to leverage on research so that we become a solution to the few examples of the problems that I've shared and the many that we witness in our society. Innovation, therefore, is the lifeblood of progress. It is our future. It is the lifeblood of our lives. So we want to solve the real world problems. We want to create job opportunities for our young ones and improve economic outcomes and that shapes a sustainable future, because without research, without innovation, then there's no future. Many researchers and entrepreneurs actually have a challenge in understanding what our key speaker is going to tell us today: demystifying ideas, innovation, and commercialization, and the protection of the intellectual property. At Masinde Muliro University, like I have acknowledged all my predecessors, all my senior professors who are here today to support us, because they have been the mentor into building this Science Park Innovation and Incubation Center. This is our logo, where we are incubating that little seed inside that little brain of ours, the beautiful brain that can that provide cutting-edge innovations and research products into the world. The Science Park Innovation and Incubation Center, which we call SPIC, it came in as TIPIRE in 2005, was established at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology to start, develop, and manage intellectual property. You remember our very own Kenyan who innovated M-Pesa. It's no longer his, and there's so many intellectual assets that many people from the country, in Africa and in the world have come up with. their protection is not assured if they are not aware on how to protect it. Therefore, Masinde Muliro University is committed in fostering innovation and entrepreneurship and protecting its intellectual assets among staff, students, and the community. And we're welcoming, what I mean by the community is anybody outside Masinde Muliro is part of all our partners. Are all welcome to understanding how to protect so that we team up together, we are able to jump together and protect the intellectual assets that so many people have taken advantage of. We actually, there's been an espionage in intellectual property and data security. This is the journey that Masinde Muliro has walked through. Our property assets as at the moment, as of April, April, we had 67 intellectual property where we have 24 patents, which Fred will come and tell us what all these are. We're having 18 utility models, trademarks at 15, and copyrights at 10. That gives us a total of 67 intellectual property. Actually, we become the leading institution in the country to have filed and registered the intellectual property. We were the third one a few months ago, but now we are the leading university in intellectual property generation. The university has also established as an academy called Masinde Muliro University MMUST Innovation Academy, where we incubate and we innovate and transform the world by protecting all the ideas that come from our young ones. So it's not only our young ones from Masinde Muliro University, but our young ones from the country. Anybody having a knowledge of any young Kenyan who is having a unique idea is welcome to refer that young Kenyan to come to MMUST Innovation Academy, where we are going to support them to incubate that idea into something that can be commercialized and that can generate income and transform the world and resolve the problems affecting our society. But Masinde, it's not only in Kenya and in Africa, but Masinde Muliro University has run cutting-edge innovation through championships intercontinentally. As you can witness, those are some of our students from Masinde Muliro University who participated in the Intercontinental Innovation Championship in Russia in 2024. We also have, these are the products of the Innovation Academy, and we're having some who participated recently in the Presidential Innovation Challenge, and we are impressed by the products and the innovative solutions that they have come up with. Because of time, I'll quickly rush. So this was during our MMUST Innovation Week that was held in February. And out of all that we have done, so far we have a total of 184 innovators at the Academy. At the Science Park Innovation and Incubation Center, including the staff and the community, we have a total of 256 innovators at the university. These are some of our collaborators, and we have registered huge successes at the university. Like I've just mentioned, we have a number of strengths. I'm going to share the slides with the members who have registered. And we are a very stable university. We have a state-of-the-art financial management system that ensures accountability for all the activities. I will kindly request Kevin to mute. Kindly mute. So with the several directorates, with the niche areas that we have at the university, medical, education, engineering, agriculture, we are working to ensure that we are not only called a university, but we are a solution. Our products become the solutions to the many events, not only the challenges. that affect our society. We have several plans, and we are developing, we have actually developed an integrated framework of innovation consultancy. That is why we are welcoming everyone to join with a young, this one, the Innovation Academy actually looks at protecting the rights of the vulnerable, the young ones, and those ones who are unemployed, the unemployed in the society. As I end, so that I can welcome our guest speaker, I want to request and welcome everyone who is seated here today, that you are very important. I cannot jump alone. I cannot solve the solution. I cannot resuscitate a patient alone. We want to live together. Through research and through innovation, it is the ultimate direction that all of us have to take so that we change our society, we change our country, and we change our world. Thank you so much. I will therefore take this opportunity to welcome our intellectual consultant at the university, Mr. Fred Otungo, and I will take it back to the chair so that he can run us quickly through the profile of our intellectual consultant, Mr. Fred Otungo. Thank you so much. I know you will be having questions. If there are questions, you can send them on the chat because our IT team is registering the chat, the questions, or you will also have the opportunity for Q&A session after Mr. Fred finishes. Please receive a warm welcome from our Vice Chancellor. He was to join us this morning, but he is attending a council meeting, and he has sent his warmest regards, and that he is with us and he is present to support us. Thank you so much. Please, for the members who joined us when I had, while I had started, please feel welcome. We are a very welcoming. Our culture is an embracing university. We are a very warm university, and we are so happy to have you with us. Thank you so much. Back to you, Chair. I hope I've not taken so much time.
Thank you so very much, Daktari, for that elaborate introduction. We are so happy we now understand where we are coming from. We equally understand where we are going to. Just a quick one before we move to the next level. Allow me request every participant to get on video. We want to take a group photo. I think this is the best time we can do that. Let us have a group photo. Let us be all the participants. And Victor, I hope you are helping us there. Victor Dinda, to capture that group photo. We need it at this time. Everybody, I don't know if there is anyone who has not yet be on that. Victor, you are helping us on that. I don't know whether you have taken it.
Get people to get into the. All right, let's get there. Let's get to the gallery, all of us. Some are not yet there.
I believe I'm there. When done, you let me know.
Yes, not bad, a little bit. So
Laba Noenga, get on video.
Some people are not yet there. Some are not
Professor
there.
Mukunda, get on video.
Get on video so that you can be able to capture everyone. Okay, I've taken the ones we want, the ones that are ready. Thank you.
Thank you so much. At this particular moment, we are going into the next segment, whereby we are going to welcome our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker is none other than Mr. Fred Omukubi Onsuanga, and forgive me for that, Advocate Frederick Omukubi Onsuanga. And allow me introduce him. Mr. Fred is an advocate. He holds degrees, that is BSc and MSc from University of Delhi in India, and also an intellectual property law from WIPO Academy in Switzerland. Currently, is pursuing a Doctor of Philosophy at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, and at the same time is just completing his diploma in paralegal practice at Kenya School of Law in Nairobi. He has vast experience on matters of intellectual properties, and he has taught also in this area at Mary University, both in property law, innovation, entrepreneurship, and he has also served various institutions in similar capacity. He has been assisting Mary University, he has been assisting JKUAT, and currently is also our consultant on related matters, that is Masinde Mulira University of Science and Technology. For him to achieve this, he is currently managing FOIPA, which is a consulting company which deals with matters of intellectual properties, and some of his duties include to assist institutions, innovators, organizations, and even universities in management of intellectual properties, that is IPs, and which will include filing, prosecution, and enforcement of patents, trademarks, copyrights, industrial designs, rights, marketing, licensing of copyright, trademark, and patent rights to these individuals. That is, to innovators, to institutions, to universities, to various people that they are supporting. Without much ado, allow me to welcome Advocate Fred. Advocate Fred, take it up, and I'm sharing your presentation. Fred, you can mute and take it up.
Yeah, sorry. I was saying thank you very much, Dr. for that elaborate introduction. I'm actually humbled for this opportunity to be here, at least to talk about intellectual property rights. So I think maybe let me apologize. I didn't start with you on time. The number two, I'm sorry, I would have been in Masinde itself physically because I'm a consultant there, but we decided to have it online, and I hope we are going to interact fairly well. So as you have seen, that's my name. That's the spelling of Otswongo. I know Collins has brought it out so well. Omkubi Oswongo. So as you've heard, I can call myself IP expert. Of course, I'm a practicing lawyer in intellectual property, registered patent agents, and so on. So I'm still acquiring knowledge, so don't be surprised. Why is the mzee still reading? You know, knowledge acquisition can never stop. So let's proceed to the next slide. I was invited to take you through as a key speaker. The title you can see there. I think the main issue here is demystifying idea protection and intellectual property. So there are so many things around that. We're going to consider that, but I think for now, you are very familiar with the introduction to intellectual property rights. So we will just run through, but then we shall concentrate on how to commercialize the innovation. Because most of the things that will be handled at the academy will be teaching people how to pitch, how to source for potential investors and all that. Therefore, why are we here? the main reason I wanted to start with is the university has established an innovation academy, and an innovation academy is a very important center in any university, especially in developed worlds. This is one of the, it's actually one of its kind, or should I say the first one in Kenya. Most universities do not have academies, innovation academies. They have what we call hubs. Some of them have industrial parks and all that. So the reason the academy came into place, you have been told by Dr. Sum, but my own analysis here is that it has been put in place to support and implement the third mandate of the university. Remember, the university, apart from doing higher education research, it's also involved with the innovation, coming up with the new products and ensuring that these new products hit the market. Now, for them to hit the market, we know there must be a legal owner, and the legal ownership is determined by intellectual property protection. And that's why the title talks to our aim very clearly. It says idea protection using intellectual property rights. So we shall see later, but anybody who has a new idea, an innovation, a creative art, and does not have intellectual property rights on it, it's very difficult for him to go anywhere. So as we promote, sorry, Skaranja, maybe you can mute.
Can you let us mute?
We are praying for tea.
Mute, then proceed.
Hello? Yeah, it's okay now. Now, I was trying to explain why innovation is very necessary, because it is through innovation that now you graduate to entrepreneurship. Now, entrepreneurship is very important because that's where now money exchanges hands, because the people who have money now move in to support the innovation, and then they are
We are not able to hear you.
is to support innovation and promote entrepreneurship in the region. So for us to do that, I think next slide I had said we need IP. And for those of you who have forgotten what IP is just a creation of mind, the product that come out of your intellect that lead into tradable goods. So that idea that you develop a prototype, a product, must develop into a good or a service that is helpful in the industry. So there are various forms, and then we shall see that, but all we need to know is that it's from the human mind. So next slide. As we move on, you realize that it would be very difficult for you to make money if you do not convert your intellectual property as an asset into intellectual property rights. And this is done through certificates given by government. So they are more or less like title deeds or logbook to be able to identify you with whatever you have come up with. And when you have the certificates in form of patents, copyright, or trademark, you will be able to license it to somebody else. You will be able to sell it, what we call assignment, or you may be able to use that to collaborate with a manufacturer so that now you make money. So it's very clear up to that point that intellectual property is very important to enable us move our products to the market. So next slide. When we move on, you realize that everything seems to come from the mind. So what government has done, it has separated that into various regimes. And they have said, if you came up with an innovation that is solving a technical problem, and technical problems are all over. They're the ones that make us actually wake up in the morning and work very hard the whole day and relax in the evening. Then wake up again to address the technical problems. Now, these are issues to make our life easier. These are issues that enable us to make money. So if your innovation is solving a technical problem, then you get a patent on it. If whatever you have come up is solving a social problem, then you go for copyright. Now, example of copyright we know is music, something that will solve your social issues. Maybe you are very sad and you want to laugh a bit, so a comedian comes up and demonstrates before you and you say, ah, come on, you made my day. So the comedian can own that through copyright. But if you made a shoe that will help people to move around with comfort, then you're addressing a technical problem. So you deserve a patent. If you have made a drug that is curing some diseases, then you deserve a patent. Now, how about if you've come up with a shape of a bottle or a very good design of a clothes, then you'll need a certificate referred to as industrial design, and that is also very important. So as we move on to the next slide, for example, this is just explanation for those who are not familiar with the terminology I've tried to put there, and this will be helpful when we are sharing the slides. It will be able to explain what we mean by a trademark, a patent, a utility model, and so on. So for you to be more relevant or make money or just build a brand from the university, you need to transfer your technology. Now, this technology is transferred either to industries in exchange of royalties or is transferred to the public for free use. As a scholar, of course, that will be very important for you. And when you are transferring that technology, then you need to have some agreements if you want to make money out of it. Even if you don't want to make money, you also need an agreement to commit the recipient that they should not start making money out of the free technology or knowledge that you have given to them. So the next slide, you realize that we are not conditioning people to patent because there is an option of a trade secret. Samuel, maybe you can mute. You're able to see your background. I was saying, one would ask a question that, must I patent my product for me to make money? It's yes and no. It's only advisable to patent so that it's identified with you when you are commercializing. But if you are sure that you can keep it secret within yourself and commercialize it yourself secretly without people discovering it, then you will be good to go. Because we shall realize later that the patent has expired date of 20 years. But if it was your secret, it will be with you forever. So you'll be in the market for as long as it's kept secret. All you need to know is that when you have a patent, you have something to sell, you have something to license, you have something to give out. So there are other forms of protection, because the IP, especially the patent, you have option of protecting in Kenya alone, which we call the local patent filing. The next slide. You have an option of filing your patent protection in African region, if you have enough money and the idea is broad or big enough. You have also an option of filing directly to the destination country that you want to either manufacture the goods or you want to to monopolize the technology there. For example, most Kenyans that manufacture their goods in China, they need to patent the idea in China, the product, so that the Chinese do not manufacture it and sell to other countries. So you have that option of going directly to a foreign country. And finally, you have an option of filing an international patent application, so that with one application, you are covered the whole world. So in terms of protection of IP, we at the Academy, we shall be analyzing based on the quality and the importance of the innovation. We decide which option of protection or mode of protection that we require. If it's a patent, then we say, okay, do we need to enter African market? Then we go regional. If it's very important internationally, we say, okay, can we do an international patent? And for Masinde Muliro, you are very lucky. I think you are one of the first universities again to have successfully filed 2 international patent applications. Of course, we must give honor to Professor Molo. We had 2 international patent applications, and one of them was successfully filed in African region. And there is an ARIPO patent certificate on it, which is valid. We did also one for the French-speaking African countries. Of course, we never got the certificate on it because of the translation, and it has to be in French. Everything you respond in French. So it's a patent pending in those countries, Cameroon and Guinea. So these are things that are workable. Most universities fear, they say, oh, international filing is expensive, it will not help. But that's putting the university on the map. The international firms, they go to WIPO website, the International Patent Filing site. When they click in African universities, Masinde is one of those that comes up immediately. And then it's very easy now to get collaborators and international investors when you do an international patent filing. So that's very important. So the purpose of IP, most of you are aware, but the next slide, you'll see that without IP or intellectual property protection, there will be no need for inventors to struggle patenting that. So it provides an incentive to innovators. These are people who must not be researchers. So anybody, even a Juakali, can innovate. So they can only do that if they are sure that the idea will be protected. Now, the other very important aspect of intellectual property is that it stimulates R&D in universities. It's through assurance of ownership that the dons will be assured of working hard on a prototype, because they are basically employed for teaching, for example. Now, for them to go out of way, they need to be assured that whatever they come up with through R&D will be protected, and they will own it, and they'll have a chance of making money out of it. So that one and many others are the main roles of intellectual property. If you look at number 5, which is very important, the government concerned about that, creating jobs. It creates jobs by creating new startups. And I think for SPEAK, the industrial parks, if we heard from the director clearly, she said MMUST has 24 patents, and of course one patent is normally a startup, and a startup is an industry. Look at the M-Pesa. It started as a job, money transfer, and now it's a very big industry. So it's because of IP that we have startups. So as an industrial park, if you want to have startups in Western region, we need to embrace intellectual property. So quickly, I just wanted to to let people know what a patent is, but of course we can skip that. We can also see the certificate, the way it looks. It really honors the inventor. So the inventor's name is there, the applicant's name is there. So anybody who wants to trade in it will simply require the 2-page document. They will ask, can I see your certificate? Now on that certificate at the back of it, it will have an abstract of the idea and it will have the contact of the innovator. So the innovator, the owner is there, and if there is an agent, is also there. So it's very easy for them now to search around and say, can we have Dr. So-and-so here on board? If the applicant ever went alone to negotiate, they will insist the inventor to be on board. If there was an agent, they may request an agent to be on board to be able to help in the negotiations. So why have we, next slide, you'll see that the main reason why people keep talking about patents, next, it's because, next slide, please. It's because it's not very easy to prepare a patent and file and successfully get a certificate on it. It combines both legal and technical. And that's why, if you look at the next slide, Daktari, you'll realize that you need to do a complicated technical drawing and label every part of the product that you have, even if it's a shoe. And that's why you see Fred is struggling to be both science and legal, so that I'm relevant. I'm able to draft a bankable patent application, which can go through the patent office. And if it ever went to court, Fred will also be there to defend it. So this is how the drawing of a patent will look like. We've seen the certificate. And if you move further down, the next slide, the other one that's showing a stock, next slide, you will see that the symbol image, the symbol image of a jiggle, when you are presenting as a patent, you need to draw it technically and then label each and every part so that it makes sense out of that. So, of course, if we move, maybe you can skip, go directly to slide number 18. Of course, we all know that you can't patent everything, but there is another mode of making money from intellectual property regime, which is called trademarks. And this one, people should not complain that, oh, trademark is complicated. It's just coming up with a new name, which will be used to sell your products in the market. So it will identify your company, it will link the company and the product in the market. So Masinde has several trademarks. I think from the list you are able to see that. And these are the ones that now will be used to either franchise, if we have ever set up a very good standard for the product. You franchise the name and you wait for the royalties to come out every month or every quarter or every year. The next slide gives an example of a design, and the design just coming up with the new articles or new containers. I think this is not complicated. So the university can take this advantage and work with the local groups, women groups, encourage them to develop designs on their baskets, and they, of course, bring them to the park for panel beating and protection. So this is a very easy way of collaboration with the community to become more relevant. So next slide is an example of a copyright. And copyright, as I had said, if you came up with an app, a software for the system, we shall help you to get a copyright certificate on that. If you came up with a new journal or a new book or a booklet, then you require a copyright on it. For the choir, those who come up with good music, last time I was there, I think the choir was up to date, very good release. And those one, we can also record, have video, and copyright their music. So in summary, maybe you can skip, go to, so that now we are able to see slide number 26. Of course, 25 is our role, so you don't need to know where to go because we'll be doing it for you in Nairobi. Now, 26, we don't want inventors to keep banging 26. 26, the framework, the filing framework. Next, 26, yeah, 26. You can go back. You can go back once. Yeah. What I was saying, we don't want inventors to give up, because definitely when they give you an application today and after 1 year you haven't given them certificate, most of them get bored and give up. So this slide is very important for you. It gives you the official timelines for you to wait for a patent to come out. And when the patent is out, how many years or what is the period of monopoly in the market? So it's also very clear there. You can see the patent. Because there is a lot of rigorous checking, you need 2 years for you to get the certificate. A minor patent called utility model, you need only 4 months and you have your certificate. But the strategy we are using at MMUST is that because the government is asking for a patent certificate, we are discouraging utility models. So we are encouraging people to file the patents, so that when after some time the universities are judged according to the patents. You remember the Dr. said that Masinde Muliro was number 3 last year on the list. JKUAT was number 1. Took the Technical University of Kenya, Nairobi was number 2. Masinde came in number 3, and the big universities were surprised that, hey, how come? Now it's because it had filed for patents, and these patents had taken 2 years and it come out certificates. So trademark will give you monopoly for 10 years. It comes out in 4 to 6 months. And then copyright will give you 50 years, and it's easy. It comes out in a week or 2. Yes, so the next slide, what will of course, the IP office or the desk within the academy be doing on a daily basis? And this patent life cycle is very important, and yet a very complex cycle for you to keep it up to date. Patents, protect new ideas, and new ideas come up every day. Now we are talking of AI, we are talking of VR, the virtual reality, we are talking of IoT. So things have moved very fast. So you need to keep learning about the new patents on a daily basis. Which one has come out? Is my idea comparatively new, or it has been overtaken by events? So the academy will be on its toes to keep preparing patent applications. I know later on it will be on daily basis, because when the traffic start coming up, there will be so many inquiries at the office. So the issue of patent filing will be almost constant, and payment of fees, and these fees must be paid on time. If you delay, then you are surcharged, or the patent rights are withdrawn by the government. Then there is a step that we call government patent examination process. This one, a few of you that their patents have been rejected will bear witness with me that this is a very technical area, because examination the examiner will look at every sentence and every claim that you have made. So it's possible that they can knock out all your claims, even if they are 20. So it is up to you to send a rejoinder. We call them office action response during examination. So it can be back and forth for about 6 or even 1 year until you convince him that, okay, out of my 20 claims, maybe 2 are okay. So can you grant me a patent on 2 claims? So once you have been given the patent, there is this element of maintaining the patents. Every year you have to pay some money and you have to pay on time. And this maintenance of patent rights until the 20 years, the fee keeps going up. So it's more or less like an expenditure. So in some cases, if the innovation has been overtaken by events, we tend to abandon the patent rights so that we say, okay, no longer interested because it's eating into our budget. So we let it go. So when you reach at the end of 20 years, then again, you come back with the new patents and all. So for this cycle is what we refer to as intellectual property management of patent system. So one file goes through all these stages, and if there are 50 files, you need staff. You need serious staff to be involved. So why struggle to manage? Now this is found now under the commercialization stage in the next slide. The reason we are hanging on struggling to maintain the patent rights is that at one point or at one time, there will be an investor who may come to the office and say, come on, can I see your patent certificates or your patent documents? When we are able to show them 24, if he's interested in the drug, he'll be able to pick 1, 2, 3 out of that. Now, he cannot pick when they are already expired or abandoned. So he can only pick on the valid files with the valid patent rights. Now, the patent rights, the copyrights, the trademarks are the ones now we are commercializing. So it is possible to commercialize directly without patenting, but at your own risk. But here we are using the official route, which is called commercialization of intellectual property rights. So these are the routes that we have. And I think they are in the plan of the academy. So the academy will be on daily basis training innovators, calling in experts to talk about all these options of commercialized intellectual property rights. I know those of you who've been there before. I've talked about joint venture through collaboration as one of the easiest route to take in Kenya, because the manufacturers, I just don't know where the problem is, but manufacturers are owned by foreign companies who are under the instruction of the headquarter offices. Now, headquarters sources their patents directly from the international office. So it's been a bit tricky to get a local manufacturer licensing in the patent rights. But we are struggling as we move on. I think that can be worked out. But for joint venture, it's easy because you identify somebody with money or a bank. They put in their money, the seed capital, then you sell your products or you do a startup. I'm very sure the university has IGU, and the IGU can also commercialize the products directly using the route that I'm saying. So here we are encouraging people to do what we call patent licensing because we are a university. And it's very good. You come up with the patent rights, you retain the patent, but you license the technology out. So when you have licensed technology for a manufacturer, it will be easy for you to continue researching on it or improving on the technology as the manufacturer makes the products, distributes, and keeps some percentage in form of royalty to you as a university, and the university using the IP policy, they distribute a portion to the inventors. So one example that has actually excited us is the Mary University that has now licensed a manufacturer in the US on Mira, a very important product, value-added product on Mira, and they have been able to get upfront the income, and they have an agreement on royalties every year. So this is not miracle. It has happened and it can work. We have seen JQuat has licensed some technology on ICT to the banks, those that deal with the data and access to the customers. Tricky enough is that the innovators that we have, most of them, if they are students, they move on. So when they move on from the university to the industry, they go with the technology. So a very small percentage survives in the industry. So the university is almost out of touch with the technology, improvement on it. And therefore, it's a bit tricky to maintain that kind of technology. But I recommend licensing for universities, joint venture, and confidentiality is a bit tricky, trade secrets. A startup will be number 3 as a recommendation. Because startup is starting small companies, but for you to start up a small company, you need some money to be able to survive. Chair, I don't know, did you say the questions at the end, or I can, because I don't want to talk to myself throughout. Can we post questions in between, or we wait up to the end?
Up to the end, because we'll have a session on question and answers for you.
Nice. So I was requesting we note down the question, the challenges, and all that. So at the academy, we shall be licensing all forms of IP, patent, copyright. Of course, of course you can't license, but you can do a collaboration, a confidentiality agreement with the manufacturer. This is tricky, but what happens here, we do a technology transfer physically. So the inventor goes to the industry to give the smallest part that makes the technology work. So that know-how. If we zero into licensing, then we know whatever you have must be licensable. And for it to be licensable, you need to help, the next slide, you need to help the university to identify the potential investors. Because the next slide, you as the innovator, you are the one who knows the technology well. So it's very easy for you to map around the investors and then advise the university on who can easily work with you. So the main part of the commercialization of IP or technology is the negotiation part. Because at the time you're identifying the investor, if the investor says, okay, can we have a first meeting? So the negotiation starts from there. So depending on how you negotiate during the first meeting, the investor will either be interested to continue with you, or will have noted some weakness or some advantage, taken some advantage of your ignorance and may stop meeting you, and yet he has taken the technology with him, or he has already known how he can go around your technology. So when you are doing negotiation, the strategy here is that you must be as few as possible. We recommend 3 people from university, and these 3, the inventor must be there. somebody with a legal mind must be there to be able to take notes for the agreement that will follow. And one expert, and this expert will be representing the CEO of the university, so the VC. So he will be talking on behalf of the VC. In some cases, we have seen DVC chairing the meeting or leading the team. We have seen the IP managers leading the team. And in rare occasion, we have seen the VC himself leading the team if the investor came to the university. So you need to be knowledgeable about the technology, because the manufacturer is ahead of you in terms of the product, manufacturing, distribution, the market, and all that. So when you go to negotiate, the issue will be the percentages, because he's ready to take up your technology and at what cost. So you prepare well. From experience, we have seen if it is pharmaceutical, the percentage is between 2 and 4%. So the manufacturer usually takes 96%. If it is in ICT, because ICT is short-lived, the percentage is higher. It can go to 20%. The manufacturer taking 80%, or the developer, the person who will now look for the market for the system and maintain it, the server and all that. So you'll be very lucky to get 50-50, but I'm not discouraging you from that if you are doing licensing. If you're doing collaboration or joint venture, usually it's 50-50 or 60-40. So this negotiation is very important. And I think if the university allows, from this year onwards, we need to do a lot of this now, because we have the certificates with us. We need to start trying out the meetings on licensing. So if you look at the next slide, you'll see during negotiation, what are we talking about? So we have fairly broad options to look at the type of licensing agreement we are negotiating about. So you can decide to have exclusive licensing, where you say, you argue that, okay, we want a small percentage from you because we don't want you to be the only one manufacturing the product and distributing on our behalf in the market. So you argue for non-exclusive. You see, exclusive is to exclude others. So only one person. Now, when you're giving only one person, you need to argue for a higher percentage on royalties. So there are this option A and B that you can play around with. If you want to give sole licensing, then that will mean you as the university, you retain some monopoly. Maybe you can say, okay, you manufacture and sell in Nairobi upwards, but allow us to manufacture and sell it down, Western region, Central, Rift Valley, and all that. So the sole owner will also be having some rights to the technology, or to use the technology and all that. Now, cross-licensing is where you say, okay, we are not exchanging a lot of money at the beginning, because we give you the technology and you give us something else. So this is very important, where maybe there are two manufacturers, and one manufacturer has a patent, the other one has the facilities. So they will say, I have the facility which has the process of manufacturing, for example, bread. So they have a system where the bread can go through. You have the technology, you've come up with a formulation of, say, bread. So you say, look, my patent on bread, I'll give you the patent technology, I'll transfer technology to you, and you transfer the process, so that I know the process of making the bread as well. So this is unique, but it can happen because you give them the technology, they give you the process. So you also produce bread where you are in your market. They also produce the same bread where they are. So the difference will be the trade name. You can call your bread MMUST in Western region. They are calling their bread maybe Tuk or Tum in Mombasa. So the bread is the same taste, same texture, but the names are different. So that's cross licensing. Now, there's this option E, where the technology maybe is not very important to you as the inventor. So you give the licensee, the licensor, the right for a very long time. You say, look, instead of limiting our license agreement to 6 years or 3 years renewable, I'm giving you an open-ended time. So just pay me some money once, and I give it to you. You use it as long as you wish. Now that is one way of like giving out an old clothes or so some technology that you know it won't help you to keep. So that's called perpetual licensing. So this guy uses it for forever or for a very long time. So these are the options that you can be negotiating with the manufacturer or the investor. So it is possible that they'll be able to at least pick one of them. I've just elaborated them in terms of pictorial for you to look at them properly in the next slide. And then given the value, because the next slide you'll see that the features of non-exclusive vis-a-vis the features of exclusive licensing. So before you decide maybe which type of license should I go for, or if the investor is pushing you towards a particular type of licensing, you need to know the characteristic of each, and I've given you at least three. One for non-exclusive is that the value is low, the risks are very low, because you are not giving monopoly to one person. We have had cases where you license somebody and you agree very well, every year you'll be giving me 20% or 2%. Then at the end of the year, the manufacturer is telling you've not made any profit, so you don't even have your 20%. You have to give us another 1 or 2 years. This is the disadvantage of doing exclusive licensing, because if it doesn't make profit, then you have nothing to gain. So if you compare the two, you'll be able to negotiate appropriately. So in conclusion, Chair, I'm just trying to say, remember to use confidentiality agreements, confidentiality clauses when you are sharing your innovation with the strangers or even people closer to you. Nowadays, we even accept emails. You can give a warning through email that please note that the information shared is confidential and between two of us. So if you kept that on board, your idea will never be taken away before you do the patent protection. So finally, I just want to say thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. I know it's been lengthy, but it's important for the first time to have knowledge across board, so that in future now we'll be specialized in a smaller area. Thank you very much, Chair. Dr.
Thank you so very much, Advocate Fred. You've really demystified this particular topic, and I believe everybody is happy about it. And now that you've said next time we'll be having plenty of them, I want to announce, and I will still announce, that the next webinar will be on 27th June 2005. On 27th June 2005. And again, at this particular moment, before I invite somebody who will, a representative of our Vice Chancellor, allow me to welcome Victor just to say a word. And on the same note, take another series of group photo. I know there are people who have joined who are not there before, and it may be important to have another set of group photos. So Victor, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Was a nice presentation, and I really admire. We are moving together. That is the spirit of Masinde Muliro. We're not leaving anyone behind. At this point, I think we're going to the next session, and I want to appreciate everyone for being there for us. I think that's what I can say for now. After that, we are going to open our videos so that you can be able to take another round of our pictures so that we can be able to have as many and decorate our library today. Yes, some have already joined us. Okay. Let's open our videos.
Vic, maybe you can guide members. Some are asking how do we take a group photo? So maybe you can guide the members. Yeah.
Just open your videos so that I can see your face. Emily Wangila, Bentan Jageni, please open your videos. I'm not seeing all of us, a lot of us. Maurice, Vincent, Professor, please open your video. We want to see your face. Shalom Dege, Wilfred Kinga, Rogers Wafula, Charles Maungo, Samuel Ongechi, kindly open your videos so that we can be able, Dr. Lucy Mandela, Elvis Nyonje, kindly open your videos. I'm waiting. Dr. Gladys Mengich, Daniel Komen, Adera Wanambisi, kindly open your videos. I would wish to start. Kindly open your videos. Laban, your video is not there, but it's okay. Okay. You're almost there. Some are not opening. Yeah, it's good to appear in the picture for memories of the day. I'm almost there. Okay. I'm almost finishing my photo session. Others are just absent. It's okay. Thank you. Back to the chair.
Thank you so very much for this session. Before I welcome Dr. Tekla Sum to invite the representative of the Vice Chancellor, I've seen very many faces. I've seen Bomet is here, John Makubura, I've seen TUM, Technical University of Mombasa. Thank you people for attending this session widely. We are happy. Take it up, Dr. Tekla Sum.
Thank you, Collins. Doc.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Odoyo, for the opportunity. Before I welcome our Vice Chancellor, please allow me to welcome our partners from various organizations. I've seen, yes, I've said from Bomet University. Maybe I could just give you a minute to say something on behalf of your institution. You're most welcome. I'm not going to follow any order, but Dr. John Mark. Chair, I don't know if they can hear me.
Yes, they can hear.
Yes, we can.
Yes, Judith, please, you could say something, and we are so happy to have you with us. I think I would say to answer your question is that it's welcome to all other community members and stakeholders, the Innovation Academy, we want to protect everyone at the university. So you may say something, Judith.
I really don't have much to say. I was just saying that we can hear. I could hear from my end when you asked, is anyone hearing you from the end, you know.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you for the response.
Okay, thank you, Judith. So let me take this opportunity for the interest of time to welcome our Vice Chancellor, Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Singalia. Prof, you're most welcome.
Thank
if
you.
You can hear me. Yeah.
Thank you for that opportunity and for having to wear such big shoes in a very short time. I followed the presentations and they are quite interesting, very captivating. So I'll give through a short speech. So distinguished innovators, partners, faculty members, and esteemed participants, on the behalf of the Vice Chancellor of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, I warmly welcome you to this essential workshop on demystifying intellectual property rights. In our rapidly evolving technological landscape, the protection and commercialization of intellectual assets have become fundamental pillars for innovation-driven economies. And as a university, we are committed to fostering scientific excellence and technological advancements. We recognize that understanding IP rights is crucial for transforming your brilliant ideas into protected, marketable innovations. This workshop represents our institution's dedication to bridging the gap between academic research and commercial application, empowering you with the knowledge and tools necessary to navigate the complex world of patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. Your presence here today demonstrates your commitment not only to creating groundbreaking solutions, but also ensuring they receive the protection they deserve in the competitive global marketplace. So let us embark on this journey of discovery together, transforming complex legal framework into practical strategies that will safeguard your innovations and accelerate not only Masinde Muliro's, but also Kenya's position as a leader in science and technology. So I welcome you to this workshop. Please feel free to interact and raise all the questions that will help you to move forward with your innovations. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much for that. And we are now well aware that we have been welcomed from the leadership of the university. And so every participant, you are welcome. Now we move straight to questions and answers. And to the guest speaker, the first question I'm seeing here, can someone do a white label on a software without patent? And if so, what extent are they allowed to customize your software? Can someone do a white label on a software without a patent? And if so, to what extent are they allowed to customize your software? What should I not give to them as an innovator? Back to you, Fred.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. Actually, questions on patents and software keep coming up. So can somebody do a white label on a software without a patent? And then to what extent and all that? So Software, remember I had mentioned they are part of computer programming, and therefore the coding part, the source code, that one would be under the copyright. So the way you have developed the source code, that one will go to the copyright part, will not be patented. So if you're adding a white label, I'm not in that field very well, but if you are using the software to perform some technical functionalities, then you develop an entire system. So the way the entire system works, that one can be modern. So you cannot patent what you have gotten from, say, open source, but you look at the addition. If the technical addition makes significant change to the technology, then the technology becomes very useful in the market. You can get a monopoly on it. You can get a patent on that additional part. The last part, I don't know whether I've answered it all. The last part was,
if the person is to patent, are there some other part of it that the person can withhold? In other words, can I keep some other secrets of mine?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Remember, there was a slide that talked about know-how. So usually you are allowed to keep some secrets. Part of it you can keep to yourself. So it will be up to the patent office to discover that you have hidden something. If they discover you have hidden something that if it's not mentioned, the public cannot be able to reproduce your technology, they will demand that you disclose. But if you can hide it in such a way that it's not noticed, then it's advisable to keep, so that during licensing or technology transfer, you are more relevant, because they require you every time to go and implement the system. If you are not there, the system will not work. So you can patent part of it, you can hide a small part of it in terms of know-how. I hope that's clear.
Thank you so much. I think that is even an eye-opener to many that never asked that question. Sometimes you may become vulnerable by giving everything and you have nothing that make some of these people to look for you. So that's
right.
Eye-opener. I'm not seeing other more questions, but if there is anyone who would like to ask a question, you can raise your hand. There is an icon for raising hand and we'll give you an opportunity. Anybody with a question? And anybody who still needs to... somebody is asking, cook stove is in which category? Cook stove is in which category? That is Judith Biyaki.
Cook stove is in the category of patent, because it's a device. It's like it's a machine, more or less. So you can get a patent on a cook stove, but you'll not get on features that exist already. So you need to manipulate the current cook stove, introduce something new, so that you get a patent on the parts that you'll be claiming. Thank you.
Another question from Laban Noenga of Masinde Muliro University, and that is to the presenter. How do you advise someone who may wish to explore a training in intellectual property field?
That's a good question again. Intellectual property training opportunities are open. First and foremost, there is an international organization called WIPO, where I took my intellectual property law. There are two versions of that. When I was working with government, I had the opportunity to go to Geneva and have physical sessions. But there are so many opportunities online at the same academy. So if you can visit, it's called WIPO, of course, www, those of you can note down. WIPO is WIPO. Some people pronounce it as WIPO. .int, the short form of international. So .int. If you visit that website, of course, it will have Stroke Academy. You'll be able to see so many free courses online on IP. So the first 3 that are free of charge, introduction to IP, international filing and all that. Then later on, you pay around $60. Then you get a 3-month training. So they can train you on technology transfer, patent drafting, trademark filing and all that, at the cost of $60. Now, if you are in the IP office, a technology transfer office, like now Speak, we do a letter to the government office called KIPI for waiver of the fees. So I think that is very important. The academy can quickly link up with the government office so that every year they keep giving us scholarships, at least 2 or 3 per year. Then within a span of 5 years, we shall have built capacity on that. So WIPO I'll recommend, but there are other organizations that give, like United States, USPTO, Japan, but WIPO is the best because they give the latest, they give free education and also scholarships. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Then there is another question from Mary Gunga. How can you protect your innovation with trade secrets? What products are best protected this way? How then can you secure it in case of a leak?
Lovely, lovely, Mary. Yeah, how can you protect your innovation with trade secret? Let me start with an example. Everybody knows, or majority of you know, that the Coca-Cola formula for Coca-Cola is protected under trade secret. And it has been protected under trade secret for many, many years. I think even me, I was born and found Coca-Cola in the market. So trade secret, I had given an example. One, it has to be a technology that you can keep it to yourself. A technology that nobody can easily discover, cannot easily discover. It means, because the opposite of trade secret is disclosure to government. You remember when you're doing a patent, you are disclosing. So when you are keeping it trade secret, it is only you or you and your brother or your mom that will be aware of the formula. Now, the biggest example is the Coca-Cola formula. So the 2 brothers have the formula and they work with it. They don't use the same plane. So they don't take the risk of both of them maybe passing on at once, because then Coca-Cola will close. So they make sure they are in separate meetings, rooms, and all that. Now, the lowest example is Mama Mandazi in Kenya. The Mama Mandazi does the formulation in the evening alone in her house, the duff and all that. So they mix some very nice spice that nobody else knows how much is put there. So in the morning, the duff is put out and is given to a young boy or a lady to just make mandasi. And people will associate themselves with the mandasi because of a special taste. So that's an example of a simple trade secret that is kept. So you simply keep quiet. Now for Coca-Cola, they are using internal confidentiality agreements. When you are employed, you sign an agreement that even if you came across the formula, you'll never disclose it in your life. So once you sign that, you stay with them, and when you are leaving, they make sure you don't disclose to a competitor. If you did that, you go to court and you are compensated. So they use confidentiality agreement at a higher level. At lower level, they just keep quiet. So when they die, the secret also disappears. So question 1, the products, I've given examples. I've also answered the last part that in case it leaks out, of course, that's the end of the product. If it leaks out, nobody will help you. The courts can only help you if you had agreements. Thank you. Mary?
Thank you so much. There is the final one here I'm seeing is from Dr. Lucy Mandela. And the question is, are there opportunities for social scientists to innovate stroke patent? Are there opportunities for social scientists to innovate stroke patent?
Yeah, very interesting, Lucy. Very good question. There are opportunities, I should say. In fact, some innovators are social scientists, but what you are innovating must be solving a technical problem. Remember I said there are 2 types of IP regimes. One relates to social problems, because the main aim of an innovation is to address a problem. So if a social scientist ever innovated a social and a solution to a social problem, they will protect themselves using copyright and not patents. So this social includes performance on stage, comedy, some very nice images or whatever. So they will not get a patent, they'll get copyright. But if they went out of their way and they innovated a bicycle, they have no problem, they will get a patent on it. So a social scientist coming up with an innovation that addresses a social problem will get a copyright, not a patent. Thank you. Lucy?
However, Fred.
Who's that?
Yes.
This Omolo.
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, hi,
Okay,
Fred.
okay, Prof.
Yeah, I just wanted to add.
I'm okay, Prof. Yes.
I wanted to join in on what Dr. Mandela has asked, and just indicate that innovation is not a business of scientists alone, or patenting, or having a patent. It's not a business of people who are in hard sciences. Even people who are in social sciences can patent.
Yeah.
The best example is trolley that we see on supermarket shelves, or rather in supermarkets, not the shelves. The person who invented trolley was not an engineer, was not a hard scientist, was just not even a social scientist, but someone who just looked at the problem, the way clients were struggling carrying their whatever purchased items on a basket. And at the same time, a client would be having a small baby that she is struggling with. And from that, the idea of trolley came in, and not just trolley, but trolley with provision whereby a baby can sit as a customer or client would be shopping within a supermarket. So that was not done by a hard scientist, or I would say an engineer, but it was just even someone who didn't even go to school, but just provided a drawing for what could solve the problem. And in the process, through assistance of patent agents, that's how that thing got patented. So many a times we think that it is just a business of people who are in hard science. The answer is no. It's just a question of imagination and creativity, which can lead to solution of a problem. Then you have your patent. I just wanted to add that on your answer, or rather to your answer. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you very much,
much. Prof, if you can remember, Fred mentioned on the onset that we are lucky to go international with respect to intellectual property, and that is patent. So Professor Molo is the one who has just responded, who has taken us to international space. Before I get into this question, I'm seeing Judith, you raised your hand. Very briefly, Judith. Judith, your hand is up. If Judith is not there, I can see there are no more questions. And I think we have labored enough on this. So before I bring it to a close, let me give it to Fred if there is any final remark that you'd give before we bring it down.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. I'm actually excited, happy that we've had this discussion, and the turn up was good. I think we were more than 54, which is great actually for an online meeting. I'm also happy, and I would like to appreciate all participants. I think they were very patient up to the end, and the questions that have come up are actually eye-opener. In fact, I think from now on, I'll look for examples of innovators who are not, of course, hard engineers, because then they come up with very good solution because they look at the market first. So that's very impressive for me, and I look forward to many more such meetings. Otherwise, I'm happy, and thank you, Dr.
Thank you so very much. This particular level, I will give a vote of thanks so that we don't hold you for so long. I want to thank every participant that has made it and has made this day a success. I want also to take this opportunity to thank the leadership of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, the Vice Chancellor, here represented by Professor Asingalia. Thank you so much for finding time and to participate in this activity. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the guest speaker, Advocate Fred. We don't take it lightly for creating time, working with us, and even finding time today to give us these nuggets, this valuable information to our innovators, both within Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology and beyond. I want to thank also even our partners from other institutions, Bomet University. Thank you so much, John Makubura. I want to thank Technical University of Mombasa, participants from all over. Judith, thank you so much for making it to this event. All participants, Lucy Mandela, I may not mention everybody, to the Director, Science Park, Dr. Tekla Susmasum, the professors of the universities, Professor Molo. I've seen very many professors here, Elizabeth Omukunda. Thank you so much. We have both staffs and students. I may not mention all your names, but I want to say from the bottom of my heart and from the heart of a science park, we love you and we cherish you. Somebody is asking a question. We are done, but I'm so much thankful to everyone. Kindly take this question. Let's say MMUST is the seed investor in a startup. What measure has the school put in place to avoid over diluting other investors in other rounds? Kindly take this question. Let's say MMUST is the seed investor in a startup. What measure has the school put in a place to avoid over diluting other investors in other rounds? I don't know whether, Fred, it will be too much to bring you after this vote of thanks, but I don't know whether this is an emergency from the person who has asked.
Is Dr. around? Tekla? Director will be
Director,
in a good
because this
Yes,
one is directly directed to us.
Yes, thank you so much for that question. I'm not able to see the question on the chat, but I want to understand the word over dilution, the protection, the strategies that have been put in place at the schools, at the university, matters protection. So what I would tell, I'm not able to see who asked the question, is that at the Science Park Innovation and Incubation Center, this is the central directorate that ensures that all the schools, all the innovations across all the schools and all other units in the university bring their ideas where their ideas are incubated. After the idea has passed to become an innovation, we have a form that we call IDF, Invention Disclosure Form, where we give it to the innovator or innovators of that particular school, and then they are able to agree, or if they are 10 or 5 or 3, they are able to agree on the royalties as they fill in the IDF form. Upon which, after they are filled in the IDF form, we send it to our intellectual property consultant who is here with us today for onward processing to KIPI. So I don't know if I've answered your question well, because I'm not able to see on the chat, but I want to believe that what you meant by over dilution is that so that nobody, as it is the original, the novelty or the originality of the idea is not lost when it is taken to the school. We always protect the innovator and encourage the innovator to describe, to give comprehensive description of the innovation in that idea form. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was Robert Obare who asked the question. But from what I think, MMUST also sometimes give seed money or seed capital to start the prototype or at lower level. And so I think the person is, will this tie me? And will it also dilute if in case maybe there are other investors that would like to come on board in other rounds, in future rounds? MMUST must have given during the start point, the seed money. But how about when I feel I need to grow? But I think this is something we can still explore at the academy.
If the innovator, you see, the original stages of the protection of the intellectual property, of course, begins with what I've just mentioned, and the allocation of the seed money, like what Fred mentioned, you agree that it is going to be 50-50 for the university or 60-40 for the university. So whatever profit that this innovator, after he or she has been given the seed money, makes, assuming he makes 10 million 6 years down the line and he's no longer with us, he's bounded by the agreement that was made in the IDF form to leave the 40% to the university, and whatever multiplication he or she makes with the other partners, they are able to share the remainder 60. But what remains belongs to the university, because the university supported the process.
Thank you so very much. And I think that was a nice way of bringing it down. At this point in time, allow me to welcome Laban Oenga to close it with a word of prayer. Laban Oenga, and as Laban is coming, let me repeat this announcement. The next webinar shall be on 27th of June, 2025. Towards the end of next month. The next webinar shall be on 27th of June, 2025. Begin to organize your calendar. Thank you so much. And Laban, take it up.
Thank you so much. We want to pray. Our Father and our God, we come before you. This moment we have been waiting for, that we've had of the nice presentation from our experts and consultants, Fred Zongo. We pray to may add a more insight and wisdom as it grows and continues to help institutions, especially Masinde. Even we remember our director of Speak and the collaborators. We pray that you may also give them enough grace that they may go through all their plans. For those of us who have attended and the insights that we've gotten, Father, may you plant a seed in our hearts that we may be able to use it wisely for the benefit of ourselves and even for the institutions, for God, and most especially. We pray for the next webinar and we pray for the planners. We pray for all people involved. Father, may you continue to give us more grace and love that we may be able to bring more insights to all of us, that we may be able to grow together. I pray for the participants, and I want to pray that as we end, may your grace abound with us as we continue this journey. May you walk with us, for I pray, believing and trust in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Otherwise, you may leave at your own pleasure as that video is playing, but we thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vic and Dr. Doyo, for the support. That was wonderful.
Thank
And
you,
everyone
Director.
who's still here with
Thank
us.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
My,
we are so
my
grateful.
video, I refused to show the last one. It just decided not to
Oh.
play.
Oh, no, it's
The
okay.
longer one.
It's
Oh,
okay.
It's now, let me just try it.
Oh, it's opening. Ah,
Let me
okay.
try it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Laban, Happy New Year.
Yes, Dr. Ari, as you are waiting for 27th, please don't remove us from the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, we are waiting for 27.
Welcome to Science Park.
Thank you very much.
Masinde
For
Muliro
the
University of Science and Technology.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Science Park shines bright. Innovations blooming day and night. Exhibitions show the world our might. Technology reaching a brand new height.
You look at the way the society is, ideas are being stolen. There are people who have ideas and there are people who don't have ideas but have capacity in terms of financial muscles to register these ideas. But because some of the people who have ideas don't have capacity to protect, this academy is coming into force in able to protect some of these ideas so that the rightful owners, the people with ideas, can be able to benefit from those ideas, because we are going to escalate them. We are going to make noise about them so that the world can know what these people have.
Soon, we keep identifying the best. Those that are ready, we take them to Kipi, we get a certificate called patents. And within 1 year, we have grown from around 7 or 8 to 55 applications, and we have 14 patents. Remember, when you have a patent, you already have a startup industry.
So we bought this one so that you can do experiment. You can write, let's say somebody write MMUST there.
Scroll down until you see specific, then search for your page.
That therefore goes for research and innovation in that line. So I want to challenge all of us to think in a way that we can help each other, developing our road guests.
Science Park, the world will change every corner within our range. Innovation abound, let's stage. Our minds breaking every cage.
I would like to thank the Science Park for bringing up these innovation days, and from it I think we've learned a lot of things, and I also thank the MMUST community for at least coming up with this thing so that it can protect the ideas which are imposed and make them to be better in the future time. So thank you MMUST, and thank you Science Park for organizing this event. Thank you.
Come witness the marvels we make, challenge limits until they break. Your ideas will never forsake. Here's where the future will create. Science Park, the world will change. Every corner within our range. Every corner innovation abound the stage. Our minds breaking every cage. Science Park, the world.
I also take this opportunity to appreciate the organizers of this event, also our able Vice Chancellor, Professor Solomon Shubairo, and Director Science Park, Dr. Tekla Sum, and his colleague, Dr. Odoyo, for having done efforts to make sure science is actually the thing to drive our economy and our lives. And as I have moved around, this is a stepping stone, and going forward, we will be having so many innovations. We shall have so many patents that will change the way we live and the way we
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me. Group wanapokea bahasha yao kutoka kwa Deputy Vice Chancellor, Planning, Research and Innovation. Tuwapigie makofi.
Science Park, the world will change every corner within our range. Innovation abound, let's stage. Our minds breaking every cage.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Vic. We can now meet on 27th. Thank you so much.
Now,
Bye-bye.
what I was telling you,
yes.
before we start the meetings, these are the videos we'll be playing.
Okay, all right.
Then we'll make a declaration. We see, remember, some of the people require some certification, and because this is a free webinar, and that may require funds, so we say those who may require materials that have been generated from this webinar and the certification, they remit 500 shillings. Then you use that 500 shillings to produce and share the material they want.
The resources. Yeah, sure. That's a very brilliant idea, Vic. It's a very wonderful idea. So we can work towards it so that by 27th, and we everything is set. At least we have realized that we'll actually need 2 hours, not 1 hour.
It's certainly 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2
or
hours,
1.5
2 hours
hours.
works so well.
Yeah, 2 hours work well.
Okay.
Because we'll be in a rush when we do 1 hour.
Yes.
We'll be in a rush. So, and considering, you realize that management was, all the management were not in, but when we factor them in, so we'll need 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karen, are you still there? Karen Nekesa?
I don't think so.
Yes, she's still here. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Haukuweka tu koti ukatoka. Thank you so very much.
She's here with
I
us.
have to leave briefly. I was called for a
Hello, Karen. We can't hear.
Yes, hello. Oh, you can't hear me?
You can
now we can hear.
Hello.
Yes.
Karen.
Yeah,
Hello,
we can
Karen.
hear
We
you
can now
now.
hear you.
Oh, okay. I was saying I had to leave when you began the Q&A, but I was following through the presentation.
Okay. Thank you so much, Karen. We are truly grateful for standing with us.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So maybe a quick, I'm seeing Joshua, Laban, Sebi, Steve, and Aldrin. If they have any feedback for our next, for improvement of our next presentation, I think it's open. Your suggestions are welcome. Aldrin. Okay. So I think we will sign out.
Thank you.
We can close down. Thank you so much, Vic. Bye-bye. Thank you, Dr. Odoyo. We truly appreciate that, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.